Hi everyone. Today is day 18. We're going to be doing um, import JSON modules, and we're gonna generate data and write it into a JSON file, and then just print it out. So that's the plan for today. Okay. This is a linear search. I'll go. So we're gonna rename this thing to chat. GitHub. That's that right there. Right. Okay. Let's import a couple of modules. Or math, JSON, import random, right? Import time. All right. JSON time. Okay. Put that on there. Close that. All right. So let's do directory, current directory setup, right? And we did that over here. Get current working directory. Then we pass in this to get the dir as well. So there are two ways to get a directory. This is the simplest way, like that. So you need to do as well. we could do print that Control R will run it. Will Shift R? No. Why not just directly run that? Yeah. There you go. That right there is the path of the current directory, right? And then we're going to get an output path. We're going to get an output folder that we write to, and if not, then we make that folder, right? And we're already using output over here to write into this folder right there, right? When we run 16, we create this day 15 file inside it. We're going to create a different file. In here, we're going to create a JSON file. We're going to call it day 18, right? So we do current working dir. So if this output is deleted and we don't have it, and then we run this, it creates that output folder right there. There's nothing inside it, because in order to write a file inside it, we do this file path like that, and we can go in here. We can just make this file path object, and we can go day 18 dot, and we want to make it a .json file. If you guys remember what we're doing, what we're going for over here. So we want to do day 18 data.json. So that's our student data file. Student data.json for day 18. That's the file path, right? Is there a file getting created in there as of now? No. But when you do a with open write, it automatically writes it in there, right? We should do that eventually, right? But before that, we could print the file path. That'll print it right there. No such file in directory. Yes, I know. There you go. So there you see that. There's nothing in there created, but we just added this over here, and we used the join function. So we've been able to make a path for the file, right? So when we write the with open and give this entire file path, it's going to go into that location and then not have that file and then create the file and then put the JSON data into it, right? But we want to generate some JSON data. So let's generate some student data over here. Let's write a function def generate, right? Okay. So do that. Create a students list. Okay, so this is a list data type. Okay, so if we hard code it right here? So we do num students 100,000. If I do that, so that's 100,000. It's gonna run the loop, right? So we make a student dictionary like that, and we give it ID, range, name, program. Graduated, right? Like that. For I in range, ID is equal to I, so 1 plus 1, so that'll increment the name that, right? One. These, we do I plus 1 inside it. Random choice. Right? So random will pick one of these that we passed in with random choice, and then we can give this, and then give math, uniform, 4_range 3, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so the way to do this would be round random uniform, and then the range 2.0, 4.0, right? Then here you like the for loop, right? So we go like this, for GPA range of 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. And I would say that you graduated random choice true false, random dot choice list. Really? Yes. Okay, that. Students dot append student. Students dot append student. So that appends it. Right. Then we can def return students. Generate the student's choice. If I generate students, so print because whatever needs to be passed to it is already passed in here, the count, right? Random choice, what are, oh, there's a comma at the end of this thing. Okay. There's nothing wrong with it. There should be a comma at the end of it. Why is it whining? Why are you whining? Takes 2 positional arguments, but random choice takes 2. Oh, okay. Like this true and false over here, only 1 is given, so put it in the list, man. Right. Generated 100,000 students. Okay. So what you do is you go over here to write something out over here about it. What you do is you just go to this, so you can develop your students, right? So it's not been called. We're going to call it here. It's going to create this thing other than that. This list of dictionaries, right? So what you do is type here's a list, right? So you access the index with the list with the with indexes, right? So there's 100,000 indexes, 909,000 from 0, right? So if I go, example, if I go students, come on, man. If I go here like this and I go 65,999, it'll give me a value. Right, with the grade, with the program random choice and everything. So it's done all of that generation, right? So start. How do you print a list of dictionary pretty? How with JSON do you print a list of dictionaries? With indent, you typically do that. So what you do is you go over here, you run the debugger. Over here, you again paste and you push it out. Here's how do you pretty print nested dictionaries? Not with pretty print. JSON-dumps sort keys indent true. Okay, so you do import JSON, which I did already, right? So you do json.dumps here, students, like that, indent is equal to 4. This should render everything over here on the console. Oh, nice. There it is. Why would the slash ends? Even on the console, I should print it. What takes in a list of strings? That is the correct way. Format. There it is. You're seeing it being printed out on the whatchamacallit underneath, right? This is the dictionary, how it's printed. So that's the format, right? So the format is what we're going to write, right? So format is what we want to write into the file, right? What will be written into the file, right? How do we write it? With open file path w as file. What are we going to do? File dot write. No. What is it? How do you give a list of dictionaries into file write? So let's put this here. How to write list of JSON-dumps object to file. Mr. Google, how to write JSON data to a file. File open WB WSF dot dump json.dump data. json.dumps. Would bring the students file. Huh. Okay. Coding UTF-8. Indent is equal to 4. Students file. Indent is equal to 4. Nothing there. We did not use format. We just used this method JSON-dumps again inside the file writer. It has put everything on the console. It hasn't gotten to the point yet. There's the file, and it has nothing in it because you have to do output file dot write. How do you write lines? I think it is. How do you write the whole thing? There it is. It wrote it to file. 100,000 lines, or more than that. 1,000,002 lines or whatever, because each line is whatever, like it's 7, 8 lines, or 10 or whatever, right? So that's the size of that. Wrote everything in there, and then we could write after this. Check it. Check this right there. Do we close the Okay, no need to do file close because the close is done automatically. Again, so run it like this, written output path. So there it is, and it was rewritten over or whatever, right? If you change it now to A, to append, like that, it's just going to keep adding to it. So you over here and now it goes all the way. It's a little arrow over here because it's a list. There's not missing a comma. If you put a comma in there, it's still gonna cry because it's a list of lists. So you have to go to the beginning and put the list in there. Beginning and end, right? So you can fix this by going here, putting a square down here, and coming down to the end and putting another square bracket here. And that should fix the whole thing. Anyway, so now you got 2 million lines, right? So every time you keep running it, it's going to keep pushing it out like that. And then if you switch it back to W, it's going to wipe the file's contents and put the fresh data inside it, whatever that you can see over here, written to the file. Anyway, that was day 18. Import was JSON random time and operating system. What we did is we gave the current path of the file and created a folder called output. We created the day 18 JSON data file. We took 100,000 records, a target, and we can change this, right? So we can change it to over here, and then we go like that, you know, or whatever, like we can use 1 million records and we can run it, and then it'll take a little bit of extra time, but it will write it into this file eventually when it's completed. Control C. We don't want it to go that long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go, right? And it wrote the output. From a performance perspective, the C programming language, C++ is a little bit quicker. But now with computation becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, it's not exactly the worst, right? Anyways, that's everything. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time, and have a nice evening. Thank you. Bye.